The Idaho life just wasn't cutting it for me. Sure, Boise had its charm and the rodeo was a hoot every year, but a girl with looks like mine craved a little more excitement, you know? Like champagne wishes and caviar dreams kind of excitement. Enter Allie. We connected on the gram, of course. Girl, her life was a never-ending reel of yachts, designer bags, and 5-star sunsets. I was hooked. We messaged, we bonded over our love for Manolo Blahniks, and next thing you know, I booked a one-way ticket to Miami. Those 2 weeks with Allie were a crash course in how to snag a sugar daddy, let me tell you. Forget college, this was the real education. Allie preached the gospel of Monaco in September. That's when the big spenders came in with their fancy boats and even fancier wallets. So I emptied my savings, sold everything that wasn't nailed down, and boarded that plane with nothing but a dream and a one-way ticket to wealth. Now, honey, Monaco is a whole different ballgame. Everywhere you looked, it was glitter, yachts the size of houses, and people who looked like they bathed in money. My heart thumped a little faster, maybe a little fear mixed in with the excitement. But hey, Lyonene doesn't quit. Not when she's this close to billionaire boyfriend territory. The problem was, Monaco is about as expensive as a diamond-encrusted crown. After 2 weeks, my bank account looked like a deflated balloon, and I still hadn't even met a guy who owned a yacht, let alone one he'd let me take a spin on. Talk about a confidence crusher. Then, just when I was about to throw in the towel and head back to Idaho with my tail tucked between my legs, fate intervened. One night I saw a line of fancy cars all heading in the same direction. Now, Monaco's a tiny place. Whispers travel faster than the wind. Curiosity got the better of me, and I followed the trail. This fancy soiree turned out to be a private music studio, honey. Can you believe it? The super rich coming in to jam and make music nobody else gets to hear? It was crazy. Turns out a lot of these bigwigs have hidden talents. 1 minute, they're running billion-dollar companies. The next, they're belting out a mean ballad. It was a fun night, a little different from the club scene I was used to. Then I spotted him. This guy, tall, handsome, and looking like a storm cloud was about to unleash itself. He was muttering under his breath about a backup singer who flaked out. Now, honey, I may not have snagged a billionaire yet, but there's one thing I can do. Sing. Like, really, sing. Before he knew what hit him, I was flashing my best smile and saying, "Hey there, looks like you could use a backup singer, you know, just in case your usual person, fell ill or something." He looked me up and down like I was some kind of puzzle he couldn't quite solve. "You sing?" he finally asked, a hint of suspicion in his voice. "Honey," I said, leaning in a little closer, "I can sing the paint off the walls." That's all it took. We did a quick sound check, and before I knew it, we were up there belting out a love song. Let me tell you, the chemistry between us was electric. We finished the song, the room erupted in applause, and this tall, dark, and handsome stranger walked right over to us. Turns out his name was Andreas, a Greek shipping magnate's son, no less. Now, honey, I may not have been a supermodel, but I can weave a tale like nobody's business. I whipped up a story about being a personal assistant to some big-shot banker in London on a working vacation in Monaco. Andreas wasn't much for talking, but hey, a girl can dream, right? He didn't waste any time. Next thing I knew, we were in his sleek black car, heading towards a swanky hotel on the coast. The air crackled with unspoken desire, and by the time we reached his room, the only fireworks left to see were the ones about to explode between us. He kicked the door shut with his foot, the city lights twinkling outside the window like a million tiny stars. He pulled me close, his hands rough and calloused from, I don't know, handling $1,000,000 shipping deals maybe? He didn't waste any time exploring. His lips found mine in a searing kiss, the taste of expensive brandy and something wilder, something uniquely Andreas. My breath hitched, and I melted into him, the stress of the past few weeks dissolving beneath the heat of his touch. His hands roamed my body, finding every curve and dip with practiced ease. My dress, a lucky purchase from a Miami thrift store that suddenly felt like $1,000,000, came undone with a whisper of silk. The cool night air sent shivers down my spine, quickly forgotten as Andreas trailed kisses down my neck, his lips sending sparks dancing across my skin. We stumbled towards the plush bed, a tangled mess of limbs and desperate need. He was all sharp angles and surprising strength, the weight of him a delicious pressure against my body. His touch ignited a fire within me, a hunger I hadn't realized existed. I responded with a newfound confidence fueled by the intoxicating mix of adrenaline and desire. The night was a whirlwind of whispered secrets and stolen moments. We explored each other with an urgency born of stolen time, the rhythm of our bodies a silent symphony. There were moments of breathtaking tenderness, his touch reverent as he traced the lines of my body, and moments of raw, untamed passion that left me breathless. As dawn painted the sky a soft rose gold, we lay entwined, the city slowly waking up outside our window. Exhaustion mingled with a strange sense of contentment. This wasn't the sugar daddy situation I'd envisioned, but there was something about Andreas, a spark that went beyond money and status.